ahead and learn how to thread your punch needle tool. Alright, so here I have my punch needle, and right here of course is the handle that you'll be holding onto, and then you've got your actual needle here, and that's shown in gold, and on the other side of the curved edge of that needle, you're going to have a little hole like you see here. All right. Now the other thing you need to have for this is something called a needle threader, right? And that's going to help us put our yarn through that needle. And on one side of that needle threader, you're going to have a white tab here. And then on the other side, you're actually going to have a curved bend right there in that wire. All right. Now, when you're ready to thread that needle, I want you to take the label off of your yarn and just unravel it a little bit so that it's nice and loose. You don't want this tight when you go to thread your needle or even when you go to punch your project. All right, now that I'm ready with all of those three parts, let's go ahead and thread that punch needle tool. To do so, I'm going to take a look at this little rounded side, and that's where I'm going to place, let's see, my the curved area of my wire up through the bottom of that hole. See that? So if I've got my wire here, I'm going to place it up through the hole just like so. All right. Now, certainly it will, absolutely go straight up. But instead of it going straight up, what I actually want you to do is to bend that wire, so it goes through the tunnel all the way to the end of your needle. Now, how you're going to remember that is I want you to think about this little guy as being the train, right? If this is the train and the train needs to go through the tunnel, here's what you're going to do. You're going to bend this or move this wire up. You're going to bend it over to go through the tunnel, right? And just continue to let that train go right through to the end until you see the train come out of the tunnel. That's just an easy way to remember how to thread this needle. Once you have that train, so to speak, or your needle threader through the tunnel, you're going to have the curved edge on this side waiting to be threaded. So just take one end of your yarn and place it through the middle of that loop, right? And you've now got just a little tail hanging off of the edge. And now you're going to pull the train back through the tunnel with your little tab and continue to pull, pull, pull till it comes out through the back hole. All right. And once you've done that, you can just take the needle threader off and you're ready to start punching. Wasn't that simple? Now, one thing that I want you to just make good practice of is that every time you go to thread your needle, I want you to pull back your yarn on this side so that you only have about a 1 to 2 inch tail. You really don't need a long tail, and you want to maximize your yarn as much as possible. So just pulling that back just a tad is going to give you just the right length to start your punch needle project. Now let's try that one more time with an extra little tip thrown in there for getting that needle threader through the hole. Once again, remember that you are going through, let's pull this up here. You're going through the underside of the hole, okay? And I'm pushing that up through the hole, but remember, I want to take it through the tunnel. Well, to help with that, yes, you could certainly try to bend it yourself, or here's my tip. You take one finger and place it over the top of that beveled edge, right? See my finger off, now my finger is on, and I'm covering that beveled edge. The hole is on the other side. And when I put my threader through the hole, that needle threader has no place to go except for through the tunnel, right? Because my finger is over the top of it. So I'm just going to continue placing that through the tunnel. just like so. Again, it's on the other end. I've got my little loop there. I can thread it with my yarn through the loop. I've got another little tail. Pull the tag on this side, and voila, you've got your yarn through the hole, just like so. And now you can take the threader off. All right. Now, one other thing you might want to get in good practice of is just knowing that, you can always pull your thread from one side to the next side, and get used to that, because there's going to be times when you may need to do that if your thread's too long or such. I'll give you tips as we go along, but that's what's happening, is that your thread is going back and forth and back and forth. And certainly when you have a long tail, don't forget to just pull it back just enough so that you end up with about a 1 or 2 inch tail is all. And now you're ready to start punching.